All right, we got this massive book on the structure of evolutionary theory by Stephen J. Gould, Belkin, Harvard, whatever that is. I guess those are the publishers. The structure of evolutionary theory by Stephen Gould. What am I? What is this? Oh. Yep, the Belknap Press of Harvard University, Cambridge, Massachusetts, 2002. So it's not even very old. Okay, we got what? We got so we got chapter 1, all right, and then different parts of the book. All right. So chapter 1 is defining and revising the structure of evolutionary theory. Part 1 of the book is the history of Darwin, logic and debate. Part 2 is towards a revised and expanded evolutionary theory. Okay, we only have 2 parts to this book. That's it. Okay. See, I don't know. I'm keep it to myself. Keep it to myself. Keep it to myself. All right, we're gonna understand what they're talking about. Defining and revising the structure of evolutionary theory. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be reading this, not falling asleep. Let me get to it. Theories need both essence and histories. In a famous passage added to later editions of The Origin of Species, Charles Darwin, 1872, page 134, generalized his opening statement on the apparent absurdity of evolving. Ouch! Oh, that hurt. That was my shin. I didn't feel good at all. Where do we go? Generalize his opening statement on the apparent absurdity of evolving a complex eye through a long series of gradual steps by reminding his readers that they should always treat obvious truths with skepticism. In doing so, Darwin also challenged the celebrated definition of science as organized common sense. I like that. As championed by his dear friend Thomas Henry Huxley, Darwin wrote, when it was first said that the sun stood still and the world turned round, the common sense of mankind declared the doctrine false. But the old saying of vox populi, vox Dei, the voice of the people is the voice of God, as every philosopher knows, cannot be trusted in science. I mean, that was pretty profound. I'm not going to lie. I enjoy that. Vox populi, vox Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of God. I like that. Despite his firm residence within England's higher social classes, Darwin took a fully egalitarian approach towards sources of expertise, knowing full well that the most dependable data on behavior and breeding of domesticated and cultivated organisms would be obtained from active farmers and husbandmen, not from lords of their manors or authors of theoretical treatises. As Gislin, 1969, so cognitely stated, Darwin maintained an uncompromisable aristocratic set of values towards judgment of his work. That is, he cared not a whit for the outpourings of vox populi, but fretted endlessly and fearfully about the opinions of the very key people blessed with the rare mix of intelligence, zeal, and attentive practice that we call expertise. A democratic human property, respecting only the requisite mental skills and emotional toughness and bearing no intrinsic correlation to class, profession, or any other fortune of social circumstance. Okay. Yeah, Interesting stuff. Oh, it got me right here. Sorry. All right, space two. All right. Whenever I'm starting about God and theory, I want to hear what he says. The statement that God, or the devil in some versions, dwells in the details must rank among the most widely cited intellectual witticisms of our time. As with many clever epigrams that spark the reaction, I wish I'd said that attribution of authorship tends to drift towards appropriate famous sources. Virtually any nifty evolutionary saying eventually migrates to T.H. Huxley, just as vernacular commentary about modern America moves towards Mr. Barra. The apostle of modernism architecture, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, may or may not have said that God dwells in the details, but the plethora of tiny and subtle choices that distinguish the elegance of his great buildings from the utter drabness of superficial similar glass boxes throughout the world surely validates his candidacy for an optimal linkage of word and deed. Yeah. Okay, we might as well look at some pictures, right? Pictures are always nice. So we have this nice picture over here. The west facade, main entrance of Milan Cathedral, built in the Baroque style. If you've listened to another one of my videos, we go over what the Baroque style is. In the 16th century, with retro Gothic third tier added later. Boom, we got this one now. This is the wedding cake pinnacles that festoon the top of the Milan Cathedral, okay, and that were not built until the first years of the 19th century after Napoleon conquered the city. Okay, very interesting. Boom. Again, this is the Structure of Evolutionary Theory by Stephen J. Gould.